Prime Minister, you know perfectly well that there's been criticism of the Greek government's treatment of some of these migrants and refugees on these islands and in Greece. Basically, Human Rights Watch saying that your authorities are arbitrarily detaining about 2,000 migrants and asylum seekers. And beyond that, the conditions in some of these camps are, quote, appalling and unsanitary. There just aren't enough toilets, there aren't enough water, facilities for people to even wash their hands or even to maintain social distancing. So first and foremost, what about these arbitrary detentions of about 2,000 migrants? Because it certainly goes against World Health Organization and international regulations in these situations.
Well, we were very clear, Christian. We suspended asylum applications for 1 month in the beginning of March. This suspension expired today, so we made it very clear that it was a temporary measure to deal with an extraordinary and premeditated event. I just want to remind you and your viewers exactly what happened in the beginning of March, when the Turkish government consciously and very systematically encouraged, not just encouraged, but gave people the means to actually try to cross massively, illegally into Greece. And it is my duty, and I made that very, very clear, to protect my borders. And this is exactly what I did. Greece or the European Union are not going to be blackmailed by Turkey when it comes to this issue. So we made it very clear that this was a temporary measure. It has expired today, so I expect a full return to normality when it comes to asylum applications. We have changed our asylum regulation. We want to streamline the asylum application and make it much quicker. And the people who are granted asylum have a full right, if they choose to do so, to remain in Greece, and we will welcome them. The people who are not offered international protection should be returned to Turkey or their countries of origin. As you know very well, there is an agreement with Turkey between the European Union and Turkey, a statement that was put in place in 2016. This statement was violated by Turkey a month ago. We seem to be returning to a normality when it comes to flows across the Aegean. And I would hope that we return to this statement because it does serve as a basis of common understanding in addressing this problem. Now, regarding the conditions, you mentioned, yes, the conditions are far from being ideal, but I should also point out that Greece is dealing with this problem basically on its own. We happen to be a border state in the European Union. We haven't gotten as much support from the European Union as we want. The environment today for any sort of relocations, unfortunately, in Europe is not conducive. So we're also bearing a very big weight when it comes to managing this problem. We'll try to do it in the best possible way, in the most humane possible way. And I do expect that if the flows across the Aegean are actually reduced, as seems to be the case, that gradually the situation on the islands, and in particular in Moria, is going to get normalized.